Where does your character come from?
Um, I don't know, man. I guess it's part of it is the way I was raised. My parents are immigrants from the Philippines. So, I'm first generation, so I was born in America, and I think some of it's my DNA. I think Filipino people are they know what it's like to have literally nothing. Like my parents are from a small cluster of islands in the Pacific, with basically no economy and just like living off the land and poverty running rampant, and and like any third world country. And they acquired an education and came to America for opportunity. And for my parents' generation, it was you go to school, you become a nurse or a doctor or something, you come to America and and pursue the American dream. You have kids, you do that. And when I was growing up, that was a big part of my character. So it was not only music, but it was also a lot of the fundamentals of just being humble and knowing where you come from. I learned all that stuff, I guess, from my parents because they had nothing when they were growing up. So I know what it's like. And so I guess that's a big part of my character as well. But also too, just like you said, being a good person. Like there's no reason to be a dick.
Yeah, right, right.
like so. Yeah.
I was my best friend. His name is Lorenzo Digia. He's a film director,
Hmm.
Filipino as well.
Nice.
But I always joke with him like, "Dog, you black." You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
we are.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm from Virginia,
yeah,
so I'm from Richmond, which is the capital.
yeah.
But towards Tidewater is a large Filipino population,
Totally.
and the culture, black culture and Filipino culture, has a strong correlation
Very
between
similar.
the two. But why is that correlation there?
So, first of all, you're 1,000% right. We Filipinos, I always say, we are the blacks of the Asians.
Yeah, totally,
you know,
100%.
um, and there's multiple reasons. And shout out to my man Joe Coy. I don't know if you're familiar with Joe Coy. He's a good friend of mine. Amazing, amazing Filipino comedian. He just dropped his I think believe third Netflix special yesterday. So anyway, he also talks about this too. But a lot of people don't know that 500 years ago, I think it was like 500 years ago, or no, the 1800s actually. Sorry, the Spaniards invaded the Philippines, and so we're actually celebrating Philippine Independence Day this weekend, for acquiring, gaining our independence from
Whoop,
that
whoop.
time. Whoop whoop. And so, a lot of Spanish culture was injected into Filipino culture, and so a lot of our last names are Spanish. I happen to have a Filipino last name, but I guarantee you, 90% of the Filipinos out there have Spanish last names. Also, the food, the culture, we're very sort of like a hybrid people. We're very different from all of the other sort of Asian nationalities, and our language, which is Tagalog. It's very similar to Spanish, certain words and stuff like that. So yeah, we definitely have, not to discredit
Right.
other uh, uh, Asian cultures. We're all very unique and amazing in our own way. But you're right. I do believe that the Filipinos are definitely, we got a little bit of, you know what I mean? We got a little bit of that swag. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and also too, there's a culture there that really embraces creativity,
Yes.
like really embraces the element of striking out on your own and being creative in your field or in your profession.
Hmm.
Like, is there a reason why that is? Were your parents very supportive of you
Yeah.
getting into music?
My dad was a musician. I lost him in 2010, but he played guitar. He was in bands. I remember growing up, he would have gigs every weekend, and I would go with him and like be the roadie and just like watch him in the band like play and stuff. And so music was always a really big part of my upbringing. And that's true for a lot of Filipinos. If you're a Filipino, you have an uncle or a father or someone who either plays guitar or sings or is in a band or does something music related. And so I think a sort of stereotype of Filipino people that a lot of people don't know about is there's three things we love. We love music, we love basketball, and we love food. Pork specifically.
Okay.
sorry to all the vegans out there, but we fucks with pork heavy. But and so I think that on top of also the thing that sets us apart from other from other Asians is that we're English speaking. So, when you grow up in the Philippines, you're required to learn English. And so, if you're American and you go to the Philippines, you really won't have much of an issue with the language barrier because as long as you're in, obviously the bigger cities or even the smaller outskirts of the Philippines, pretty much everyone speaks English as well. And so that on top of the art thing, like you said, Filipinos are really um, something about music and art is really just part of our DNA as well. So we're very intrigued by that. And so, of course, American culture and just art culture in general is going to rub off on us. And we try to express that in the best way possible. So.